Hello, this is John from TSG Multimedia, and today I'm reviewing an HO-scale New Haven Parlor car from Rapido Trains. This model is decorated in Amtrak's Phase I paint scheme and is numbered as Amtrak 7252, which represents one of the New Haven parlor cars that was originally built in the mid-1940s and lasted into the Amtrak era with its side skirts removed. Rapido worked in conjunction with the New Haven Railroad Historical and Technical Association to produce these models, designing them from the original blueprints that were used to build the prototypes. Included with the model, there's a membership form for the NHR HTA, a user's manual and information sheet, a decal sheet, and a pair of extended shank couplers. Rapido also produced 6 other versions of this type of car in the various configurations and paint schemes they had during their service lives, with and without skirts. Since this model is an early Amtrak prototype, it would be most appropriate on a 1970s era layout. This model has an MSRP of $99.95 in the US and $119.95 in Canada. It's rated for 22-inch radius curves as it comes out of the box. The extended shank couplers that are included allow it to negotiate 18-inch radius curves. It weighs 6.4 ounces. I entered the length of the model on my Easy Weight Calculator app as 11.4 inches, and it came back with an NMRA recommended weight of 6.7 ounces. The model is within 5% of the recommended weight. The markings on this model are nicely done. Using my magnifying visor, I was able to detect minute fuzziness in the separation lines, but without magnification, it looks very clean. The fluting on the side of the car bears an almost identical look when compared to what few prototype photos I've been able to locate on the internet, and the number placard is a separately applied part attached to the side of the car. The windows also compare favorably to the prototype photos. There are very noticeable gaskets wrapping around the edges and a not exactly flush look with the windows, giving them a slightly inset appearance. Check out the treatment on the interior of this window near the end. It looks like mini blinds in there. That looks really cool. All the grabs are separately applied parts, and the stepwell has see-through detailing on the back of the stairs, and a grab iron installed where you can't even see it from normal viewing angles. That's some attention to detail. Did I mention this model has a fully and accurately detailed interior? According to the information sheet, the original prototypes were delivered with a 2+1 seating configuration, but they were changed to a 1+1 within the first couple of years of service. This car is modeled with the 1+1 configuration. Unfortunately, my car came with some broken parts, both stirrups and this black piece, which I'll talk about in a minute. The ends of the car have uncoupling levers, air hoses, working diaphragms, and steam pipe detail. Remember that broken black piece I told you about a minute ago? That's what it was, a steam line that fell off from right here. The brake wheel on the B end looks really good, and the overall detail is exceptional. It even has an end gate in the vestibule. The door behind the gate is painted red with a silver push bar. The car comes with McDonald Cartier magnetic couplers. Both couplers are low compared to the Katy height gauge. The vents on the roof are separately applied parts. Like the prototype, the roof does not have a lot of other detail. The bottom of the model is loaded with some amazing separately applied brake and underbody detail. There's really a lot to look at, and the stuff that's visible from the side is very nicely detailed. The trucks have blackened metal wheels and really nice spring detail. Those springs are molded, but they look like separate pieces. Each truck had a wheel set that was knocked loose during shipping. They were easy enough to put back into place, and once I had them back in place, I found out that they're very free-rolling, and all of them are in gauge according to the NMRA standards gauge. The interior is lit, and it works on DCC and DC systems. The manual says not to use it with AC or certain train set style DC power supplies. You can really see the interior well with the lights on. The user's manual I mentioned at the start doubles as an information sheet with warranty info, an exploded view drawing with part numbers, historical data that includes information about the name board sizes that are appropriate for the various models being offered, and of course, a dose of Rapido-style humor sprinkled throughout. I never thought of using spare stirrups as lawn ornaments, but I'll have to consider that now. Also included is a decal sheet with a ton of names and numbers for decorating the undecorated versions of this model. Something else I found to be really great about the info sheet is the fact that it has a section about tuning your model before using it, and it explains things like how to adjust the trucks so it doesn't wobble down the track, how to replace the couplers, and a reminder about checking the wheel gauge. Finally, there's also information about Rapido's generous offer to replace broken parts or even provide hardcore modelers with the parts necessary to convert their parlor car to the original as-delivered 2+1 seating configuration, all free of charge. That commitment to good customer service is admirable. This model is a great example of what I like so much about Rapido. It's very highly detailed with lots of stuff that really makes it stand out compared to many of the other offerings in the marketplace. I have to take one spike off due to the incorrect coupler height on both ends, for a final rating of 9 out of 10 spikes. But hold on, there's more. I'll be the first to admit that value is subjective, but I realize a lot of people model on a budget like I do, so I feel compelled to talk about my impression of the value for what's being offered. This is a separate issue from the spike rating because it's subjective, and it's something I've wanted to include in product reviews for some time now. So here's my take on the value proposition of this model. At first glance, I think $100 is a lot to spend on a single piece of rolling stock. I would buy this model only if I were building a model of the prototype it was seen with. What you get for that $100 is a super detailed, prototypically accurate, and well-made, good-looking parlor car with lights already installed. Add to that Rapido's commitment to service, and I would say this is a good value. Maybe not a steal or an irresistible bargain, but definitely a solid buy for the discerning collector who has a need for it. Since my take is a new part of the product reviews, I've set up a poll. I'd like to know if you want to hear my take when I review products like this. Like I said before, I model on a budget, and a lot of the things that I'm going to be reviewing will not have the inherent bias that comes with purchasing a very expensive model and then wanting to justify your purchase. So please let me know by taking the poll if you appreciate hearing my take on the value. Please subscribe if you like this content, and thanks for watching.